Who's Elaine?
That's his fiance.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. Thank you. The way that this comes across is that he's referencing to the month of October. He's talking about showing balloons, which is usually an indication of like a birthday or anniversary of some sort. But there's referencing to birthday in the month of well, actually, birthday or death date, October. No, he's referencing to July and October.
Can we call my mom when you do this?
Yeah, sure.
Do you mind?
Absolutely.
Because this is like, she would die right now.
Oh, absolutely, sure.
Not like die.
Not literally, but if she did, I could connect.
This is so weird. Oh my God, freaking out.
All right, cool. Hopefully she's open to this.
Oh, she sees a medium like every month.
Oh, cool.
Trying to connect with him, and she has it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm excited, okay.
Mom!
Hello?
I'm with Tyler, he's a medium, and the first person that came through was Uncle Ben.
Oh, really?
You're gonna die. All right, so tell her everything that you said.
Hi.
Hey, Tyler, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. As I was kind of connecting to Nicole's energy, a man came actually through for you and also for her. And he was joking about a mustache, or referencing to a mustache that he would have had for a very long period of time, and how people used to always tell him to shave it. And he came across with the name Elaine, or a reference to Elaine.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
So one of the things I also want to ask, if this makes sense, is there's actually a significance on actually the reference to October and July. So do you know of any significant time frames for this?
Oh, yes, absolutely. His birthday's July 27th, and he passed on October 6th.
Okay, thank you. So that's definitely his way of coming through. I want you to know that in the way that he comes through, he's completely at peace, he's perfectly fine. And we actually just started this reading, so a lot more is gonna come through. And,
oh my God, amazing.
Yeah,
Great.
awesome.
Great, Tyler. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, thank you.
This is incredible.
All right, love you, bye.
Love you too. Bye.
It was very emotional for me because I see him in my dreams and he doesn't speak. So now the fact that I have this communication and my uncle's talking to me, dude, I'm like a ball of tears. Like, it feels like I'm actually talking to my uncle again, and it's just a relief to know that, you know, he is there. Like, when I do feel him, that's him.
Now, is his dad also Ben?
Yes! Ew!
They're together.
You're so weird.
I know, I get that a lot.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
No,
but
it's a good thing.
There's definitely the connection, so please know that they're both together.
They're both together?
They sure are.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's awesome.
Amazing. I mean, I already believed it, but the fact that he said things I didn't even think he would say, it's insane. And now I feel like me and my family are very protected because we have spirits around us, and those spirits are relatives.
This might not make any sense to you. There's a reference to Dominic, but I don't know if I go by Dominic. It looks like someone had the name Dominic or a connection to Dominic, but doesn't go by Dominic. Like...
My uncle's name is Dominic, but we called him Danny.
Okay, and then was that name passed on?
To my son.
Okay,
his middle name.
Okay.
That's
So
his middle
that's
name.
the connection.
And Lorenzo Dominic Laval.
Nice. So that would be
So
his
he
way of
knows we
connection.
named.
Absolutely,
Cool.
and that was important to him. It's really interesting because he himself will grow to be very, very intuitive as well.
Oh my God.
It's interesting because he actually,
Yes.
if anyone in your family is really going to see your loved ones that have passed away, it's him. So he
Stop it.
because he's actually already seen them. So good to keep
Stop.
him. Yeah, he does.
Like the movie.
Right,
I'm
like
like,
Sixth
what?
Sense, exactly, like the soundtrack
Oh my
is
God,
cueing.
stop.
Yeah.
Is that creepy at all? Like, should I be scared?
I wouldn't. I mean, they're not going to eat you, so you're fine. Like,
Demons?
no, nothing to worry about there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I want to know if I'm gonna find love again and if I'm gonna have more babies.
Oh. What's interesting about this is that I'm either seeing a relationship with someone who has a record label, I'm seeing a record label. No. I don't want you to date a rapper.
No, I don't want to date a rapper anymore.
That's,
Get them away from me.
I feel you, but I'm like, record label,
I'm very
record label.
attracted to creative people,
Sure.
so that's why they call me.
I feel you. Keep in mind a man with a T name. That's all.
T.
That's all I'll say.
Okay.
I believe that over the course of the next, basically, well, I'm seeing spring, but I do see an opportunity for 2 relationships. There's the T initial, and then I'm referencing to a man with a record label as showing interest. So if you don't want to go the rapper direction, we'll avoid
A man with a record label.
record label, or would have a
I
connection
could
to
do record label if he owns.
If he owns a record label.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, that's what we're going for. I love it. No.
Yes, see? I know it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You're
Thank you for
awesome.
having me. Anytime if you ever need anything.
Thank
I'm
you.
always here. I have another woman that's coming through who's acknowledging, like, no, I didn't live even remotely close to a full life. And that's the one that I'm really kind of interested in because this
Great.
person's showing me a big red flag. That always
Okay.
indicates this is me, this is me, this is me. Like, I have a big message to
I'm
deliver.
curious.
Okay? Okay. We're gonna talk about some things. There's actually a lot kind of coming through with this one. Oh God, there's like a bunch of ones. I'm so sorry, give me one
It's
sec.
okay.
That, I'm like, the way this is being conveyed is I have this younger individual that would be like a sibling. This person died way too soon because of the amount of life that they had. But the way that this is coming across is that I feel I have to call this an incident or an event.
I feel like you're touching on something,
Sure.
the most important thing.
Sure.
Reason that I'm here.
From her perspective, I feel completely fine. She's acknowledging that after she died, she's referencing to conflict in the way that this comes across. Like there was some hardcore negativity after I died. And from her perspective, there's still a lack of a release because of this.
That
So-
makes a lot of sense. That's probably my sister, Debbie. She passed away when she was 40 years old. There's always been a mystery of her death. I think anytime someone dies young, you just wonder. You wonder what happened, what could have gone wrong. And for me, I haven't been able to understand it. To a lot of people, it's very mysterious.
Sure.
I've talked it out, I've asked a lot of questions.
Sure.
And I get a lot of different answers. And
Sure. I don't know why she's emphasizing a public place.
yeah, she did pass at a pretty public place. Yeah, you're right. There's a lake that they would go camping at all
Okay.
the time.
Sure, okay.
And she ended up passing
Right.
there.
She's acknowledging she was not conscious when she passed,
Okay.
which I'll say, but
Okay.
this comes through as an accident.
It does.
It does, but an accident with non-natural elements to it.
I'm really very, very, very curious about this. I remember thinking that it was a heart attack. Then I heard that it was a spider bite. Then I heard she had asthma.
You know, I think that's just one of those situations because she didn't know how she passed.
So there's what is she gonna say?
You know what I mean? That's kind of the thing. From her perspective, she just went to sleep.
Passings that occur under unexplainable circumstances or where there's an air of mystery can be really difficult for families to have a sense of closure about. In reality, on the other side, people acknowledge less of a significance on their final moments and put more of an emphasis on their life. So on their end, they're generally at peace and have closure, even when they don't completely understand what happened to them.
The frustration for my sister is what tears me apart.
Yeah.
That's what I cry about.
Sure. It's like when someone passes, it's normal to go through a period, I think, of like, you know, high intense emotions. But she's like saying, no, this has been going on since I passed away. There's just a frustration with it to the point where it's like, I want it to get dropped. I don't want people to worry about it. Like, for her, she doesn't want her entire life being equated to that mystery of her death.
And then I have a man coming through. Someone would have died too soon. Someone who didn't get to live to be like old. This is a younger energy that pops in. Do you know if anyone had a seizure in the family?
At the end of someone's life, yes,
Okay,
seizures.
that's all I need to know. And the reason being is because that was one of the big things that was coming through on the way here was a reference to, I need to talk about like either the epilepsy or the seizures, because I have more than one. But there is one big one that I referenced to significantly, but then there's a second mini, like a smaller little one. How many total did he have to your knowledge?
2 major.
Okay, so who would this be for you?
My brother, my half-brother, actually. I always called him my brother, but my half-brother saw. We were very close.
It's okay, sure.
But you know, it's pretty recent, so it's still,
very fresh, I understand.
My brother was very important to me. You know, it's only been a few months, and it felt just kind of like when he left that, like he's just gone. And somehow I wanted him to let me know that he's okay. He found out about his illness out of the blue. He had a set of seizures that then wiped most of everything out, including his ability to communicate. And so when this happened, it was really like inconceivable that it would be him,
Right.
because he'd always been the one to get away with everything, you know?
He did try to communicate, even though maybe verbally he wasn't able to so much. He's referencing to squeezing the hand, and then that was his way in that moment of saying, like, it's okay, I'm still here. And that was big, so.
Thank you.
He does acknowledge that shortly thereafter he passed, he did try to give an indication that he was around. Wow, okay, I just got the full body chills when he just gave me that message, literally. I have chills. There is a reference to like a clock going off. I wake up and then alarm goes off when it's not supposed to.
Oh. Oh, that was him.
So does that?
Yeah,
Do tell.
but it wasn't a clock. It was a bell.
It was a bell, okay.
And the clanger was missing. In the middle of the night, I was asleep, and the bell started ringing. It woke me up. I sat right up in bed, because it wasn't like ting, it was like
Right.
taka, 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 like,
Right, like good morning, wake up, we're here, yeah.
Yeah. There's no way that it could have
Right.
done that, because
its
it
own.
didn't have a clanger, and it was wrapped in silk, and it was in the vase. It's funny to me because it was so loud and so obnoxious that it was like, I'm not reaching her any other way. Like, what can I do?
Ring the bell, yeah.
Like, as loud as you could, like, do you hear this? You
Yeah.
know, how much more obvious do I have to be?
Right.
So that's, if you knew him, it would, well, you kind of do.
Kind of
in
do.
a strange way.
I'm referencing to geographical distance, so where was he when he passed?
In Northern California.
Okay, and where were you at the time?
I was back here.
He has one more significant message that I'm gonna have to deliver.
What's interesting when he comes through is that he didn't want you there. He just didn't want there to be any upsetness about not being there physically.
I kind of felt that.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, if you look at the timing of his passing, like, he wanted to go when he went, and that was intentional.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a big one. That's like the #1 thing he wanted you to know.
Thank you.
Okay, so he's fine, but that's a big message.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It means a lot to me that he wasn't upset that I wasn't there, and that, you know, that he didn't actually want anyone around. So that means the world to me.
So 2 things. Okay. They're having me bring up the tragedy. Like, this literally just keeps coming in. Let me figure out who this is, because it's a very insistent thing. It's like one of the main reasons why I'm supposed to be here today. It's like dying at a weird time. Would be male. It's basically a feeling of like, it's not fair that my life's taken from me when it is.
That's exactly right.
They are having me bring up, I'm gonna kind of talk about like what happened in the time leading up to his passing. There's some reference to like buying a new car, getting a new car.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. He had just gotten one before.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a trip basically that this individual had planned on going on, and there's this feeling of like, oh my God, I am not able to go on this trip because this has happened to me. And there's a feeling of like, I don't want people to like put their lives on hold because of what happened to me. But there's this feeling of like, I was like looking forward to like, this was like a get together, like,
Yeah,
a trip, like the big
definitely
thing.
was. I was hoping to make a connection with a really dear friend who had recently passed away. He was such a generous man, happy. He brought such a light to any room. He would light up a room, and he was loving, and he lived his life to the fullest. And it was, of course, a shock to everyone. You know, as Tyler stated, he was planning a trip and had bought a car, and that, of course, validated that he was talking about our dear friend.
Streaming question marks. It's a feeling of like more than one person being around at the time that I die. There's something with this where it's like we're having more of a minor thing and then you kill me.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a lot in the way this is coming in.
That makes sense.
It's like there's just this feeling of like needing us to know justice will be served, but I don't feel like justice has been served fully yet.